When I first moved back into my hometown, I didn't have much to show. Life had been hard. I had worked odd jobs, invested in things people thought were foolish, and spent most of my savings restoring a single, broken-down car that meant the world to me. To others, it looked like nothing more than a pile of rust on four wheels. But to me, it was a treasure, an old classic car my late father and I once dreamed of restoring together. Every morning, I drove that car slowly through the neighborhood where I'd grown up. But things had changed. The place was now lined with million-dollar homes, manicured lawns, and neighbors who only judged by what they could see. The moment they laid eyes on me, I was dismissed. They'd smirk as I drove by, shake their heads, or laugh out loud, "Look at that junk. Must have come to the wrong side of town." At first, I ignored them. I told myself I didn't need their approval. But deep down, the words stung. It wasn't just the car they mocked, it was me. They didn't know that behind that cracked windshield and faded paint lay years of sacrifice, resilience, and love. One day, as I parked in front of the corner cafe, I overheard a group of neighbors talking. "He doesn't belong here," one said. "This block is too expensive for someone like him. I bet he's squatting in one of the old houses." Their words cut deep, but I bit my tongue. They didn't know my story. Not yet. What they didn't realize was that while they were busy showing off their shiny cars and perfect lawns, I had quietly been working, investing, and waiting. The old junk car I owned was a rare collector's model, one of only a handful left in the world. Its true value was hidden beneath the surface, just like mine. And while they looked down on me, I had been slowly buying back the properties in this very block, piece by piece, with the investments they thought I was too dumb to make. But the breaking point came when a young boy, no older than 10, pointed at my car while walking with his father. The boy said, "Dad, why does that man drive such a broken car?" The father laughed and replied, "Because some people are destined to be nothing." I clenched my fists, not out of anger, but out of determination. That was the day I promised myself that when the time was right, I'd show them all. The chance came sooner than I thought. One sunny afternoon, the community held its annual street fair. Neighbors lined the sidewalks with food stalls, car shows, and entertainment. People showed off their latest purchases, new SUVs, designer clothes, expensive watches. I parked my junk car right at the entrance, as if I were putting it on display. And instantly, the whispers began. "Who let that wreck in here? It's ruining the view. Somebody tell him this isn't a junkyard." I smiled and said nothing. Instead, I took a cloth from my pocket and slowly began to wipe the hood. Then I opened the hood, revealing the polished, rare engine beneath. Gasps filled the air. A few car enthusiasts pushed through the crowd, their eyes widening. One of them whispered, "No way, that's not just any car. That's a 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO. There are only a few in the entire world. That thing is worth millions." The laughter stopped. Silence fell. The very same people who had mocked me stood frozen, unable to believe what they were seeing. The old junk car they had ridiculed was, in fact, a priceless masterpiece. But I wasn't finished. As the crowd gathered, I stood tall and said, "You know, you were right about one thing. I don't belong here. Not the way you think. Because this block you're standing on, every house, every corner, it belongs to me." Mouths dropped. People turned to each other in disbelief. I explained how, years ago, when the economy had dipped, I bought the neglected properties no one wanted. Slowly, quietly, I acquired them all. Now, while they thought I was less because of an old car, the truth was I had become their landlord. Some looked ashamed. Some avoided my eyes. But a few nodded respectfully, finally understanding the lesson I was trying to teach, not with words, but with patience. That night, I parked my car in the driveway of the biggest house on the block, my house. As I sat there, I thought of my father, who had always told me, "Son, never judge your worth by how others see you. True value is hidden, and only time reveals it." I finally understood. And I hoped those neighbors would too. Glowing star closing message. So, to anyone who's ever been laughed at, underestimated, or judged by appearances, remember this: what others call junk may just be a treasure they don't have the eyes to see. Your worth isn't defined by their opinions. It's defined by your patience, your perseverance, and the value you carry inside. They called my car junk. But in the end, it wasn't just about the car. It was about me. And the lesson that no one should ever underestimate someone just because they don't shine on the surface.